You want me to put that on my Tudor?
This One's Wife. With love, Meghan. Episode 2.1. Hello, I'm H.G. Tudor. Well, following yesterday's viewing and analysis of the first episode of This One's Wife's new lifestyle series, it was necessary for me to go on a crusade of evil. That was what was demanded in order to purge me of the sensation of boredom and overwhelming cheesiness that threatened to consume me, the sense of ennui that sought to permeate every pore of my existence. It was necessary for the Ultra to do what he does best and embark upon causing mayhem and misery in order to drive out the sheer beige blandness of This One's Wife. Not for me finding the joy in the moment, not for me for connecting, not for me for being joyful, not for me for rearranging fruit on a platter and claiming that it's some kind of work of art. No. Thus, suitably replenished, I'm ready to tackle episode 2. Question is, are you? I can tell you now that we're not going to go to the level of detail that I did with episode 1. Quite simply, I don't think that either of us could take it, could we, valuable viewer? Furthermore, the fact is that one is going to get the impression of rinse and repeat with this series, and therefore many of the things that were commented upon in the first episode I needn't bring up again and again and again. But if you're ready, if you have girded your loins, if you have steeled yourself, then let us dip into more of This One's Wife's new series. Episode 2 starts by showing This One's Wife collecting berries. Last time, she was out there to collect the honey, professing to be a beekeeper even though she demonstrated she had no knowledge of bees whatsoever, and it was quite clear that her helper was the man that dealt with the bees, and that she was just there to talk about bees as if she understood what she was going on about. But now she's amongst the berries. There's another outfit change, and we're informed that this was inspired, or rather this formed the inspiration for her jam making. Yes. Apparently her grandmother made apple butter. Whether that's true or not remains to be seen, but triangulation and bringing up the past. We learn that this episode's guest is Mindy Kaling, another individual who strikes me as banal as This One's Wife, but let's see. Let's see if she injects a little more energy into the room than Daniel Martin did, whose main role was simply to stand there looking utterly amazed at the things that This One's Wife did and furnish her with compliments. Apparently, the theme revolves around a garden tea party. We see This One's Wife demonstrating that she's not a bully to the underlings, for in her generosity as a living saint, she doles out berries to the crew. They must be thinking, I wish this woman would fuck off. Next, demonstrating again that her love for all goes in two directions, to those beneath and those alongside or slightly diagonally below her. She makes coffee for the director. See, she really is the hostess with the mostess, kind, considerate, looking to soothe the fevered throats of those around her with the world's best coffee. She explains that she's going to make a frittata, but she's short on time. Oh no! Is this an episode of drama? A dash to the kitchen in order to ensure that food is made in the shortest of time? Will there be flashing blue lights, sirens? He's not going to make it, is he, Doctor? Comments of that ilk. Who can tell? The pace is going to be upped. This One's Wife is going to spring into action, and can she save the day? Quite why she's so unprepared leaves one scratching one's head. After all, she did know she was filming this programme, didn't she? No matter, on we go. She explains that ordinarily she could whisk the egg mix with her hand whisk. She could do it manually. And yet she decides that she's going to go for the electric whisker. Again, in order to inject some sense of potential dread, anticipation and drama, she queries whether she might end up getting spattered with the contents of the bowl. I have to say, if she is duly spattered, it's not the first time that she's found herself spattered with sticky stuff. It turns out that the attempt at drama was a false alarm, for the whisker sinks into the depths of the mix, and she does not end up spattered with goo. One senses that there was a degree of disappointment on her face. After that, it's bacon time, and she reliably informs us that her bacon brings all the boys to the yard. I think you meant your spicy poontang, but none of them seem to stay, do they? Anyway, that's a story for a different day. Next, we have tomatoes on the vine. Oil is chucked over them, and apparently, and here it comes, this is apparently one of the things that you can do to elevate a meal. How remarkable. So all you need to do is take tomatoes on the vine, throw oil over them and slam them in the oven. And that is elevation. So far, it's mint or oil that elevate. That's all you need to do. Somebody is coming round for dinner and you look in the fridge and there isn't much on offer. Don't worry. You can take your Dairy Lee triangles out, just throw some oil over them. They're instantly elevated. Cupboard looking a bit bare? Don't worry about it. Just serve some Uncle Ben's rice that sat at the back of the cupboard for months with a sprig of mint. You've elevated it. The day is saved. Interestingly, most of the cooking is to happen in the oven, she explains to us. Really? Where else would it take place? The fridge? The washing machine? She explains that in the mornings she likes to make breakfast for everyone, again reaffirming that as a mum she is the person that runs the house, unlike useless Harry, who's probably still lying in bed, sleeping off the excess from the night before. She portrays herself as the matriarch of the household, making breakfast for everyone. She has to get the kids to school, and she explains, that's why I'm comfortable with this pace, as she does an impression of somebody moving about a kitchen rapidly, because for some strange reason, despite the fact that she knows that she's filming a cookery show, she started late. It simply doesn't stack up, which is like much in the world of This One's Wife. Naturally, it's all about her, once again telling us that she is a brilliant mum, that she's a brilliant domestic provider, that she is the one that is able to cope with working at this pace. You're all expected to doff your caps, tug your forelocks, and throw yourself prostrate to the ground in recognition of her brilliance. She explains that Mindy Kaling is an email pen pal, and we get a flashback to when there was a first interaction between the two way back on Archetypes in September 2022. Accordingly, we await the arrival of Mindy Kaling, who is going to be coming to sample a frittata. There's also some fruit-based food, whereby some preserve is thrown into the bottom of a glass bowl. Fruit is added, and then some cream-related stuff is thrown on the top. And This One's Wife then demonstrates that she is able to pull together a meal in a matter of moments in readiness of Kaling's arrival. The anticipation is huge. What will this comedy titan make of the food? Will she detect that it has been assembled in a matter of mere moments? Will This One's Wife have to tell her that it's been assembled in a matter of mere moments? The anticipation is ratcheted up to 0.1 on a scale of 0 to 1,000. You really sense that something big isn't going to happen. And in order to maintain that sense of anticipation, I'm going to leave you right there and return in part 2 to tell you all about what happens when Kaling turns up. Join me there.